Let's talk about 5 historical facts that are too weird and crazy to believe. There are many things in history that make sense. However, many historical incidents and stories seem insignificant and unknown when compared to major events such as the World Wars. Those things are crucial parts of history, but they've got nothing on these wacky facts we dug up. Number 1. The shortest war in history was the Anglo-Zanzibar War. It lasted for about 38 minutes according to History Today. The Anglo-Zanzibar War has the dubious honor of being the shortest war in history, lasting around 38 minutes from the outbreak of hostilities. This was a military conflict in 1896 that ended up to be a war between East African island Zanzibar Sultanate and Great Britain. The conflict lasted between 38 and 45 minutes, marking it as the shortest recorded war in history. Guinness World Records, Wikipedia: around 500 Zanzibaris died in the war. This is the shortest war in history, but the bloodiest for that little time. Number 2. Albert Einstein could have been the president of Israel when it was formed, but he declined. Albert Einstein was Jewish but not an Israeli citizen. In spite of that, he was offered the presidency in 1952, but turned it down, stating, "I am deeply moved by the offer from our state of Israel, and at once saddened and ashamed that I cannot accept it. All my life I have dealt with objective matters, hence I lack both the natural aptitude and the experience to deal properly with people and to exercise official functions. I can't help thinking how cool it would have been to have one of the smartest people on the planet as a president, and how would Israel have evolved as a nation?" Now that is an interesting question. Number 3. King Tutankhamun's parents were brother and sister according to National Geographic. Tutankhamun was a pharaoh during ancient Egypt's New Kingdom era, about 3,300 years ago. He ascended to the throne at the age of 9 but ruled for only 10 years before dying at 19, around 1324 BC. Despite his brief reign, King Tut is perhaps Egypt's best-known pharaoh because of the wealth of treasures, including a solid gold death mask, found during the surprise discovery of his intact tomb in 1922. King Tut may be seen as the golden boy of ancient Egypt today, but during his reign, Tutankhamun wasn't exactly a strapping sun god. Instead, a new DNA study says, King Tut was a frail pharaoh, beset by malaria and a bone disorder, his health possibly compromised by his newly discovered incestuous origins. So now we head into the mind-numbing categories. Number 4. Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin were all nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. They have awarded the Nobel Peace Prize since 1901. Nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize can be made by a variety of qualified people including university professors. According to War History Online, Mussolini was nominated by 2 different people. One of the letters of recommendation came from a German law professor while the other was from a professor in France. These letters are usually kept in the Nobel Institute archives, but these particular missives are missing. Consequently, the reasoning behind this nomination will never truly be known. While Mussolini was nominated, he was not considered for the shortlist by the Nobel Committee. However, it has been stated that there was disagreement on the committee about whether to award the prize at all that year. Eventually, the prize was presented to Karl von Ossietzky, a German who led the fight against Germany's rearmament. Fortunately, just like Mussolini, Hitler and Stalin's nominations didn't go far either. Number 5. Women once marched for the right to smoke. While we're familiar with women's fight for the right to vote, the less known as women's fight for the right to smoke. This happened in 1929, however, it's worth noting that the March for the Right to Smoke was at least in part a PR stunt cooked up by Edward Bernays, who was engaged at that time by the American Tobacco Company. You mean corporations were fooling the public in 1929 to market a cancer-causing product for profit? Please Lord tell me it isn't true. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button, it helps the channel out a lot. It would be great to see your opinions in the comments as well. And as always, stay blessed and may the